Welcome back, everyone, to the Cajun 6 Dynasty here on NCAA Football 14 in College Football Revamped. This is a long video, 49 minutes to be exact. We got a lot of things to cover, guys, so hang in there with me. Stick with me. We're going to get to the end of the regular season. I'm not going to show you the bowl games. I'll preview the college football playoff, and we're going to get all that info, award winners, and who won the conference title of the Cajun 6, and how did everybody perform, so on and so forth. It's a big video. We got to catch up to the New Orleans Saints timeline because this is all a connected universe. As you guys know, we're already in the playoffs with the Saints, and we're not even close yet with the Cajun 6 series. So right off the bat, Joe Monroe is moving the ball down the field here against this number 8 ranked LSU. And no, it looks like we've got Ben Crawford deep there, but Michael Concepcion, a day 3 projected cornerback, he might be bumping himself up to like day 2. Day 1, really. Like round 2, round 3. I don't know. I can't keep track of the days and stuff like that when they split up the draft. You guys will forgive me for that, right? I'm sure. But what an incredible play there at cornerback. Now take a look at this. Clinton Wilson, we've got good run blocking up front, and what a job by Clinton Wilson to put this thing into the end zone after a broken tackle in the backfield. We're up on LSU 7-0. Now here's a really good quarterback, Rain Rowe, one of our renamed Patron prospects, one of the top quarterbacks in the country, and he's going to, oh no, I thought we were going to lay him out here, but he's going to pitch this thing to Ryan Gose, and Caddick, Tidwell, going to push him out of bounds. They're going to give credit for a pass to Rain Rowe here. First down and 10, little lofty throw out there to Andy Koch. Second and goal, touchdown there to Gene Bell. He likes Gene Bell. It's a couple touchdowns that we've seen in gameplay tossed his way, and 7-7 all tied up as we got 4 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. Now, we got Madison with a good return, but a fumble here on the kickoff return, and out of bounds LSU goes. Not that it would have mattered, as you're down, not by contact, but just down in college. Adam Greer, what a play that this was, and he's got no gloves on. Dude, you make that catch contested in the wet, rainy weather out here. Unbelievable grab there. Anthony Allen, another touchdown by Rain Rowe, and man, he's putting the zing on the football here. Plus, he's got some touch involved there too. Rain Rowe is just kind of that quarterback that's going to throw it hard and hope that you catch it. He's got a lot of throw power, one of his best traits. But yeah, interesting to see that he's showing the full package here at quarterback. 14-7, Lucas Key going to get sacked. That's Corey Thomas with the TFL right there. 3rd and 19, Lucas Key going to fire to the left, and that's a really great read right there. John Felix with the concentration catch, getting the 1 foot in bounds, and we're moving the ball here. 14-7, we might be able to get away from those turnovers and really just giving them the football back, right? So some early woes here for UL Monroe, but we're actually going to go for this on 4th down and 10, and Huff is going to get absolutely laid out, and that is L.A. Rowe, his brother, I believe. They're related. One of our supporters on the channel's got to let me know if that's a cousin or if that's his brother. So L.A. Rowe, the brother, cousin, quarterback Rain Rowe on the same team, and my goodness, just look at this man. Absolutely just destroyed Huff right there to stop us short on 4th down and 10. I love being aggressive with this team, as you know, but that sucks because LSU is going to fire up the middle here, getting first down after first down. That's Andy Koch again for 16, and then Ryan Gose says, give me that Heisman Trophy with the stiff arm move. Touchdown Ryan Gose, and this is starting to become a blowout here. Let's go 2nd down and 3, and we've got Williamson with only Williams able to catch him, and he just had a spasm. I don't know what happened here. Tidwell diving for the legs, 50-yard touchdown by Jamar Wilson. Yeah, blowout central here, guys. 28-7, and ooh, look at this throw there to John Felix at the pylon. Literally the only place that he could put that, and he did. Felix with the catch. Touchdown UL Monroe, down by 14. We're bringing the pressure here, and he's gone, I think. Let's see if we can stop him here. Tidwell does make the tackle, but second quarter, already 28 points up on the board, and Rain Rowe, look at the run blocking, can't get off our blocks. 9-yard touchdown there for Heisman finalist right now. He's in the Heisman race, Rain Rowe. 38-14 as we jump here in the third quarter, and on 3rd and 7, Concepcion with the coverage, and yeah, give the football back to LSU. We got a 49-yard touchdown there for the Tigers, and we got to show some positivity going into this matchup again, guys. 45-21. Key's going to fire it deep, and that's a great throw. Great read there to Porter, and I don't know why we're diving into the end zone like that. Like, we're losing pretty bad here by double. Like, they're doubling us up. 45-29 at this point. And then Rain Rowe, with about 3 minutes and 39 seconds, going to run this football here, and Tidwell trying to get in there. We're still playing hard here, but that is pretty much going to do it, I would assume. Nope, they're going to keep running the football on us here. Look at Rain Rowe. He's got blockers in front, and there's nobody to catch him. He's got the moves. So the thing with Rain Rowe, he can move. He's got arm strength. He's got speed. He's one of the top quarterback prospects in my mind. Just looking at gameplay, he's money. Lucas Key, we're still trying to just hang in there, right? Just try to do something. And I don't even know what I'm looking at that point. I'm just throwing the football. Like, let's just get out of here. Should have been running the ball, put the tail between our legs, and realized that it wasn't going to happen today. But, yeah, tough loss here for UL Monroe. 11th ranked UL Monroe, and losing to number 8. 50% for Lucas Key. He has not been that bad all season long, but he was bad today. And this is a loss that stings. I mean, we were severely outmatched and outgunned as far as a talent perspective goes. But, yeah, the Tigers really put it on us, man. 52-29. We'll take a look at some of our statistics here. We got a couple tackles for losses. I can't see any sacks in here at all. No interception. There's a sack right there from Jones. No INTs. Just a very, very tough day for the Warhawks. Now, if we take a look defensively at LSU, we got L.A. Rowe with a 4-tackle performance, 1 deflection, Smith with 2, Reed with 2, Concepcion, a junior, by the way, so he could technically come back if he wanted to, but we're actually going to have him in our draft class. I thought that those plays that he made today in gameplay really solidified that he needed to be in our draft class. But 21-24 for Rain Rowe, 3 touchdowns, 87% completion percentage, only 1 sack, and he shows a great understanding of this offense. He understands what he does very well. Yeah, and so I kind of like what I'm seeing from Rain Rowe. I think he's going to definitely be one of the first quarterbacks that are taken off the board here. So 2 turnovers for the Warhawks, and the rest is history. Now, let's get to Southern against Grambling, one of the most interesting matchups that I think that you can have in this Cajun 6 Dynasty. We've got 7-1 Southern against 3-5 Grambling State. But as far as the conference records go, Grambling State does have something to play for here. They're 2-1. If they can get Southern to 1-1, they're in a really good position to, even though they're not having a great season, they could get themselves into a spot where they could possibly win this conference. Not an easy thing to do when you're going up against Heisman frontrunner Darnell Bourgeois. 5 touchdowns last game. This guy is absolutely legitimate. And 1st down and 10, the very first play of the game, Cyrus Todd gets a 41-yard strike. And take a look at this. He does, on that throw, pass the old school record of Mr. Vitt. And again, I had to replace Texas State here, so that doesn't take into account any historical Southern players, by the way. But we do have a tackle here to stop Southern short, and they're going to have to kick up a field goal. So good job by Grambling State to stop them short here. And look at this throw by Kalen Walker, a quarterback that I think I should probably include. I don't know if he's going to be in the draft class due to his class. I think he's a junior, but I'll have to see if he's going to declare, and if he does, I will throw him in. He's one of your guys' renames across the community. But, yeah, I think he's really shown out these last couple weeks, worthy of being in the draft class if he's ready to do that. But we do have a sack on Bourgeois. He's able to get out of that with a deep throw there down the left side. We're going to jump ahead here, 7-3, and a little floater to David Swain. That's a touchdown. And Bourgeois, 8 of 9 for 115 and a touchdown. And look at that. The old record was 26 touchdowns in a season. He's got 33. He's blowing that out of the water. Play action here, 2 minutes and 20 left, and take a look at this deep bomb, and Grambling's just got no answer for Bourgeois right now. They just got to keep up offensively, so it's really up to Kalen Walker in that Grambling State offense to keep pace with Bourgeois and the Jaguars offense. It's kind of ridiculous right now that they're putting it on him, really. 12 of 13 for Bourgeois. He's just not missing, guys. 17-7, a minute and 20. Look at Kalen Walker. Deep bomb out there to the right side, and your man's gone. 10-5, touchdown. I believe that's Connie Goodson Jr. It is. Another one of your guys' renames here. 4 of 6 there for Kalen Walker, 2 touchdowns, and it looks like we've got ourselves a shootout. Look at Darnell Bourgeois, man. 34 yards right there to Jay Miller down the sideline. Little 5-7 step drop, and another touchdown there for Brian Thomas. He's showing the love for everybody. 16 of 17, and he's got 252 yards of passing. We're still in the first quarter. Now talk about the passing offense that's been had here by both teams. We got a huge running play. One man to beat, down to the 5, touchdown, Matthias Cortez, but we've got a clipping call. Of course. Why would that not happen? Unfortunately, Mike Hall, the wide receiver, yeah, clipping. Let's jump to the second quarter, and first down and 10. Kalen Walker thrown to the end zone, trying to do his best Bourgeois impersonation. That's going to be picked off in the end zone. And let's reset it here for Southern. So they're up past the 50. There's a deep shot there to the right side, and look at this guy, John Pitts. We have not seen that name called. He's got 3 catches for 46. Third down and 6 situation, and Southern's going to call a draw. You've got one of the best players, if not the best player in all of college football, and Darnell Bourgeois, and you're just going to call a draw right there? I don't like that. They kick a field goal, 27-14. Huge throw, great catch by Grambling. And on 3rd and 2, they go with a little play action here, swing, and that's Tanner Mays getting dropped. They'll try to kick a field goal up, and it will be good. It'll be 27-17 as we're headed towards the end of the second quarter. 45 seconds to go here with this almost interception by Marcel Pace. They'll end up punting the football. 29 seconds here for the Tigers. Deep bomb to the left. Down by the hash marks, down by the numbers. That's Landon Watkins for 23. And again, Kalen Walker is looking pretty darn good here, going toe-to-toe with Darnell Bourgeois. Take a look at this catch and a huge hit, but he hangs on to it. That's Connie Goodson Jr. First down and goal, pass completed, and time is starting to tick away. Call that timeout there, boys. Come on, call the timeout. What are you guys doing? 3 seconds to go. Got to get the snap off, and they can't get it off. That's what she said. 27-17. It should be either 27-24. It should be 27-20 at the bare minimum. So you got to wonder, is the coaching staff really screwing Grambling State right here? You got to wonder that. But 6 minutes left after another huge catch, and then another big catch there by Landon Watkins in the end zone, and there's your touchdown. So at this point, Grambling should probably have the lead if they had just been able to run another play at the end of the half. But hindsight is 20/20. Too bad the score isn't 20/20. Second down and goal. Look at Kalen Walker, and this is why I'm thinking maybe we should be including this guy in the draft class. Look at that power run right there. Huge run for Kalen Walker, 31-30. Third down and 1. Darnell Bourgeois. Look at that arm strength. That's what the scouts are salivating about, man. Darnell Bourgeois, he throws for the yards. He produces. He comes up with these clutch throws. I mean, the guy is just insane, and he's got to be the number 1 overall pick. Just absolutely has to. But Grambling is not done quite yet. They're down by a touchdown, 38-31. And with a minute 45, yeah, it's crunch time. So it's go time here. Busted off tackles down about the 3. That's Tanner Mays. First down and goal. Kalen Walker going to hand it off here, and that's a touchdown to Matthias Cortez. Going to pound past those Jaguar defenders into the end zone, and we got ourselves a tie ball game, guys. 47 seconds here for Darnell Bourgeois. We've already seen him this year with the late game heroics. Can he do it again? He's hurt. He is hurt. We don't know the extent of the injury, but it's going to be up to the backup, Miles Bosick. Second down and 10, and look at him go. Look at him run. He's got themselves in field goal position. Look at that run. That's epic stuff right there by the backup quarterback. And now all you need to do is just run some clock. And they will. You got to get down, though. Maybe call a timeout. Yes, they do. 3 seconds left. And Southern has a chance to win the ball game. Kick is up, and it is in the good hands of Allstate. 41-38 is your final score. The Jaguars will win this historic rivalry with their bitter rival, Grambling State. And I know, guys, I should have had this game in the Superdome. It's unfortunate that I wasn't thinking. And by the time that the game was done, it was just so good of a game. I did not want to back out and get the field right, for this game. I just felt like this matchup was just so back and forth. It really did the rivalry justice, and I just didn't want to go back and lose what we had here. So 41-38 is your final score. Osiris with 10 tackles, a sack, and a tackle for a loss, so he had himself a great defensive game. But, as far as tackles go, when you've got that much offense, it's always going to be a high number there. But Kalen Walker really, I thought, put his big boy pants on and went toe-to-toe there with Darnell Bourgeois, but just couldn't hang when it mattered the most there. I really go back to that play call, that decision not to call a timeout there. I think that's what really cost Grambling this football game. Granted, you kick a field goal there. It's, I think that the score was 27-17. It should be 27-20 at that point. But 3 points was the difference in the final score. That's really what I'm looking at here. Field goal, touchdown. It's just a totally different game, going into the half. But over 570 yards there for Southern, so they continue just to play impeccable offensive football. I mean, it's just ridiculous. No turnovers through that many attempts in the air. That's just crazy to me. So here's the situation as we start simulating a few games here. We got Southern at 9-1, but we do have UL Monroe, who is 2-1 in the conference against 3-0 Southern. So that's the next game that we're going to show here, and really the winner of this matchup is going to win the conference. And really it also depends on what's going to happen in the last week of the regular season to determine who's going to win that conference. I almost said division, but we'll take a look at that game. Just a quick look also at the top 25. We got Army at 9-0. Georgia Tech, I don't know, it's just kind of a funny situation there at the top of the college football playoff rankings. So I do kind of like the look of that. It's just interesting. So let's just jump ahead. We're going to go really, really quick with this game here because we are jumping to a 4th down and 6 situation for UL Monroe. We charged down the field and we just could not put it into the end zone. We could have gone up 3-0 if we wanted to, but we know the situation. We've got to be aggressive here again against Southern. They've got an insane offense with Darnell Bourgeois, and we need these turnovers, and we need to convert on these big type of downs, and we need to put points up on the board. And that's exactly what we're going to do here with Houston Harris, the tight end. Look at that speed just blowing by all of the safeties, blowing by all of the cornerbacks. I love the speed from Houston Harris. So we're up 7-0 after the turnover by Bourgeois, and 3rd down and 1. Danny Dillon's going to go down, and you might as well just replace that A with a W, right? Yeah, Danny down. They're going to go for this 4th down and 3, and Thomas, look at this. Brian Thomas, the CPU is going to go for it on 4th down and 3. No field goal. They know what's up. We got the best offense in the country, says Southern. We got the best quarterback in the country. Let's go for this thing. And it paid off. They get a touchdown. But hey, we got the best, possibly the best wide receiver in the country that you've never heard of. Ben freaking Crawford. Kickoff return for a touchdown. That's 102 yards, baby. And just as NCAA would tell you, it broke a record, but we know that that's not true. 3rd down and 10. Bourgeois scrambling, moving around in the pocket. Look at the pocket presence. Oh, what a play by Cooper Caddick in the back of the end zone. The quarterback, QB2, makes an incredible play to knock the ball loose. And 14-10. Look at Ben Crawford just busting off 2 tacklers. He's got 1 man to beat to the end zone. Who said that this man doesn't have enough speed? 57 yards, and that big body can definitely break some tackles, and we saw it right there. So huge touchdown there for the Warhawks. Now look at this play by QB number 2. Look at Cooper freaking Caddick, man. Unbelievable play defensively. That's a touchdown now. Oh, look at that strike. Now, you saw the little glitch right there? That was my controller coming on loose. So, I tried to make it as clean transition as possible, but because it was mid-play and it was such a good play being a touchdown. But take a look here. We're throwing deep. We've got the safety biting down on Ben Crawford and Lucas Key with a deep bomb. Look at that pass. 4 touchdowns already in the third quarter. The game's not even done yet, man, and we are just putting the route on Southern. It looks like we have got this conference in the bag, 34-13. And as you guys saw, that's a record there for Ben Crawford with the receiving yards. And he's having himself an insane season. So, hats off to Ben Crawford. And he should definitely be like a mid-round pick, I think, in the draft coming up in our Saints franchise. Take a look at him again here. Look at this contested grab. That big body. Spectacular catch. 99. He's got to be there. 5 catches for 136. And then, oh, look at him again. Right over top of the defender. What a toss there. Look at the accuracy by Lucas Key. Only place that his big-bodied receiver can catch it. Look at that. Boom. Right over top of the defender's helmet. Unbelievable throw. 41-13 for possibly the #1 draft pick in the NFL, Darnell Bourgeois, but he's not done quite yet. He's still got to put on a show for all the scouts out there. Draw up some plays, make it seem like he's putting up the numbers here, even though he's going to lose. He's got over 375. Yeah, so he's still having himself a great game, or is he? We played him perfectly today, guys. 2 interceptions there, and just watch how Edwards just kind of baited him there. He circled around the wide receiver on the screen, took it there for a pick 6, and the game is over. Lucas Key, who started off this series as like a big-time roller coaster type of quarterback, a guy that was bipolar, you didn't know what you were going to get, has turned into one of the best players in the entire league, entire NCAA. 88 overall. I think he was an 84 when we first started, so his numbers have really shot off, and he's showing that he's got the ability and the talent to stick, to hang. So I'm really interested to see how he does in the NFL in the series with the Saints. And we might not be able to be in a position to draft him, but I'm really interested to see how this guy does here. So Sean Bryant, another player, as an open submission guy, a rename in the community, cornerback. He had, I think, 2 tackles. He's also going to be in the draft class. But Darnell Bourgeois, 452, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 60%. You could argue that that's probably the worst game that he's played all season long in the most clutch moment of the season. So, I don't know if you want to paint that picture that he's not clutch, because he's definitely shown in this series that he is. I think we just game planned perfectly around him, and we made plays defensively, whereas his defense really didn't. Lucas Key and our offense was up to the challenge, and we just outplayed him. That's all there is to it. But there's your standings right now. We are currently tied with Southern, but because we beat them, we do own the tiebreaker. But we do have 1 more week left, and we've got other teams in the Cajun 6 who could possibly kind of sneak up on us a little bit. We got Tulane at 2-2 in conference after they beat UL Lafayette 34-27. Jake Matt, by the way, has really turned this Tulane season around. Like, I'm really impressed with this guy. He was in the comment section kind of vying for himself to start over Philip Maynard, and it looks like it's working, because this man has come in and he's won more games than Philip Maynard did. And beating the Raging Cajuns and Alan McAllister, one of the top quarterback prospects in this series, beating a guy like that's something. Plus, you got Cade Kwame there with 3 catches for 33. You got Owens, 7 for 180 and 4 touchdowns. My goodness. Jericho Burks also had a pretty good game. 11 carries, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. We got Cesar LeBlanc for 9 assisted tackles, 4 TFLs for Cesar LeBlanc. So that's a linebacker that might be on my radar here as we go forward. He's another custom guy. So I'm interested. Now here, take a look at this, by the way. I believe that I saw Dio Durant get an interception here. It seems like this guy has so many interceptions this year. Another custom guy. But La Tech might be 0-4 but their defense, like, they create turnovers with Dio Durant. They've also got a good fumble number, good fumble recovery and fumbles forced number there. And they're going to beat Notre Dame. On the road, they're going to beat Notre Dame. That's a very tough matchup, but they did it. Grambling State also beats Houston, which means that we win the Cajun Lone Star Challenge for year number 1. So really, it's just about bragging rights, and there's nothing really else to gain other than we play our games at home next season. So that's kind of how that goes. So congratulations to Grambling on that win. They moved to 4-6. But as you guys can see, we got Grambling against La Tech. Grambling now at 2-2. No, they still have a chance to tie in the Cajun 6 conference lead. Like, if you think about it, Southern could lose again. They go to 3-2. We could lose our next game. We go to 3-2. We actually play against Tulane, who is 2-2 right now. They beat us. They go 3-2. So you could have like a huge like 4-way, 5-way tie for the Cajun 6 conference. So just kind of an interesting little dynamic there as we take a look really quickly at the top 25. I will simulate some of these really crucial games across the NCAA. A lot of prospects that are in our draft class, like quarterback Jeff Young for the number 2 Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. This guy is not a renamed player. He's just a CPU dude, but you can take a look. His rushing yards are good for a quarterback. Passing yards are good for a quarterback. Like, he's a very dual threat type of guy. But as I jump over to Michigan and Ohio State, it just seems like this always happens, right? Ohio State just finds a way. Look at that, man. That hurts me as a Michigan guy. 42-38, we lose. And a couple guys that we're going to be looking at here. Armstrong, Gordon, the tight end. Scott Lee is an offensive lineman. Jason Stanaway, 2 tackles for loss. A sack in there. Yeah, Ohio State's got some ballers, man. So in this class, I'm really interested to see where those guys are going to land. But yeah, especially if they get to the college football playoff. They're currently ranked number 11, but that's going to move up after beating Michigan. And as we take a look at Florida State against Florida, we've got some good players here like Jermaine Johnson, the running back for Florida State. We've got some offensive linemen there for FSU. Florida's got some really good players defensively. They got Troy Shelton, a linebacker, a left tackle by the name of Max Robertson, high-end draft pick. So, you know, these players, they got some things to win for, to play for. DeAndre Flowers, another nice wide receiver from Florida State. So yeah, good game, 27-24. Good game all the way around. We'll have to see what happens with those two teams. Auburn beats up on Alabama. So J.J. Smith, the quarterback for Auburn. Remember, I was dogging him a little bit. Take a look at what he did. 13 carries this week, 268 passing, 21-32. We'll take a look at his numbers here. 3 touchdowns, 65%. But we don't know if they came late in the game like it did against Georgia. But that's their only loss, was against Georgia. This is going to be a big one for them as they try to advance up that college football playoff number. But man, 97 rushing yards, a touchdown there. Chad Whitlock, a big-bodied wide receiver, had a good game as well. Travis Willows, another top-end quarterback, 19th ranked Washington. He had himself a pretty nice game by the looks of it. See his stats, 10 of 26. 2 touchdowns, 160, but that was not a very good performance. So maybe you guys that are out there that are going to tell me who to pick, like maybe we don't consider Travis Willows, like we don't trade up for him or something. You know, I'm all ears on what the panelists decide to say, and just more on that as we take a look at the awards and things like that. So I'll talk to you guys kind of like what I'm seeing the draft looking like next Thursday. But yeah, more to talk about on that. Let's get to this matchup here. We've got Tulane against the Warhawks. We got to get this win, really. I mean, this is what it's all about here. We are currently 3-1 in conference, and Tulane is 2-2. We don't want to get into a situation for a tiebreaker. We just don't want that to happen. Southern, I'll show you guys a little bit of a highlight there, because if we win this game, it's over for Southern, because we own the tiebreaker. But if we lose and Southern wins, you know the drill. We end up losing the Cajun 6 conference. But look at this run there by Cohen, the fullback. We go fullback dive, and he's going to bust off everybody getting into the end zone. You got to love that from your fullback. 3rd down 11 here for Jake Matt, and he's going to fire to the left side. Just nobody open. That is Jordan Barabalt with the catch. They'll settle for the field goal. 7-6. 2 minutes here in the second quarter, and we got Ben Crawford getting his blockers all set up, and he looks like he's gone. One man to beat. If he can miss him, nope. Gets tackled, gets pushed out of bounds, and then Lucas Key with the dot into the end zone there to Houston Harris. Again, just another great throw. Highly accurate throw. But even though the percentage doesn't show it, 10 of 16 so far today, you know, Lucas Key continues to shine in this offense. Jake Matt up the middle for the first down, a big one. 53 seconds. Matt, good protection, firing up the left side. That's Cade Kwame for 14. And they're looking like they're getting ready to score here, and they will. Mike Owens, who had a 4-touchdown game the week before, gets another one here. That's 5 touchdowns in 2 games for this guy, and they're going to end up going for 2. They'll nab it. It's 14-14. But you know how this goes with Melvin Bro, our head coach. We're not done. We're never done. John Felix busted off tackle. He's got the speed. 10-5, end zone. Touchdown. Gotta love it, John. 11 of 18 for Key, 178 yards. And we're not even at the half yet. 2 touchdowns, baby. Let's go. 21-14, and Williams with the INT. He just telegraphed it. We knew where he was going. And Jake Matt tosses up the INT. That gives us a situation where we're going to run the ball up the middle, and that's a touchdown, a 1-yarder for Dylan Huff. And we're extending the lead up by 14 now, guys. 3rd down and 7 here for Matt and the Green Wave. Fire to the left. That is Shaw with the 1-foot-down catch. And up the middle they go. That's Frank Miller for a 4-yard touchdown. 28-24 as they will inch a little bit closer. Robert Porter almost gets to the end zone, but that's a 39-yard play. A big one. And take a look at the Red Sea just parting there for Dylan Huff. That's a touchdown. 35-24. 4 minutes. Again, trying to make great plays defensively, trying to dive, give our body up to get that deflection. But Tulane will score the touchdown, and they're going to try to go for 2 here again to get it to a 3-point ball game, but we are having none of that. That is Sam Williams again with another big play. So he already had the INT, and then he's going to lay the boomstick on his man. Great job to keep him out of the end zone. Now here's Ben Crawford with the moves. Nice job. Nice pitch and catch there for Key and Crawford. Look at Dylan Huff. Look at the moves. Ooh, that fires me up. The spin move following the blockers. Let's take one more look at this thing, man. Touchdown, Warhawks. Spin move. Bust off the guy. Look at, oh my God, that's amazing. 2nd down and goal. 43 seconds left to go here. Jake Matt. Touchdown Tulane. Ricky Gordon. I don't even know where he is on the depth chart, but either way, I got to show all the scoring because you guys are going to wonder. But Dylan Huff will be our player of the game, and we lock it up. We are the conference champions of the Cajun 6, and Lucas Key throws for under 300 yards. Not many times in this season are you able to say that. We just focused more on the running game. Really just try to take the ball away from Jake Matt. He had himself a great game. We'll take a look at his statistics here as we close this thing out. But across the board, we played well, I thought. Maybe our defense probably should have tightened up a little bit more than they did. But Sean Bryant with the interception here. Nice to see that. We've also got Williams there with a INT as well. Didn't see him. He must have been up top there. But yeah, great game for him. Defensively, Cesar LeBlanc, only 2 tackles, 1 TFL, 1 sack. And we move forward here. That's Cesar. That's LeBlanc. We have Cesar LeBlanc and Cesar Braun, by the way, guys. But Jake Matt, 2 interceptions, 79%. Had a huge game. Definitely the player of the game on their side. And we'll take a look at what happened here for the receivers. Mike Owens, Lance Shaw, Cade Kwame, 5 for 56. So not too bad of a game. I think Tulane might be a force to be reckoned with here in the next couple seasons with Jake Matt at the helm. Now, take a look at this game, guys. I did play this entire game, and, well, I didn't play it, but you guys know what I mean. We watched it. I watched it. And it came down to the wire. So Alan McAllister in a shootout against Darnell Bourgeois, 56-52. Look at this. 1 timeout and a pass completed here. Southern's got to stop him right here, guys. Oh, he gets down to the 1-yard line. Time will start ticking away with 6 seconds. They could call a timeout right here, but they're electing not to do this. So 6 seconds, McAllister, first and goal. It's a false start. False start on the offense. It's going to push him back 5 yards. So now the clock's going to tick away, and McAllister is going to just fire this out of the back of the end zone. They've got 1 tick left. Wow. That is unlucky for Southern. They would have won this game. Second down and goal. McAllister, there's 1 play left, and he's going to take off and scramble for it. Touchdown, UL Lafayette. 6-yard run, and that is it. The game's over. They'll kick the extra point just for good measure, and 59-56 is the final score for this game. You know, being a 35-minute video right now, I didn't feel like showing this game to you guys, but it would have been a great game to show just for the entertainment factor, but it just didn't matter at the end of it. Our win against Tulane ruined it for Southern, so they will not be Cajun 6 champions. They are 3-2, we're 4-1, and that's that. So, yeah. Look at all the 3-2 teams, by the way. Southern, Grambling State, and Louisiana, all 3-2. So had we lost to Tulane, they would have also been 3-2. So we've had like a 5-way tie that we would have had to figure out who's your winner? Who's your Cajun 6 winner? Would we have had to split? I don't know. It's just an interesting little dynamic there. But as we take a look at the conference championship week, we've got Ohio State, Iowa, Clemson, Georgia Tech, so Tennessee and Auburn. These are really big games. And Southern's going to end up going to the Lending Tree Bowl against Western Michigan. And this is pretty cool. We get the New Orleans Bowl as number 25. So we get ranked for another time this season. We were starting to move up the ranks just a little bit there, ended up getting a loss, moving out, and then get ranked again, and then moving out. So we've been kind of back and forth with the ranking system here in season number 1, but it's all right. We're UL Monroe. We kind of understand our lot in life, and we're just trying to improve every single season. I think we're going to get a good recruiting class based on what we did this year, and I think you just got to win the bowl game. That's what it really all comes down to. But let's talk about the SEC Championship. We've got Tennessee beating Auburn, and that's effectively going to push Auburn out of the college football playoff mix. Lejon Reynolds Jr., 160 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, so he's continuing to be a beast. And to think that we almost beat Tennessee. If we beat these guys, they get to another loss. Do they even play against Tennessee? Does Auburn play against Tennessee? Do they get an easier win? They get an easier matchup? Like, our lack of being able to beat this team may have affected the playoff. It's just really interesting when you look at that. But they've got some really good players out there at Tennessee. It's not very many defensive players that are going to come over in this class, but offensively, a lot of offensive linemen. They've got Lejon Reynolds, of course, that's going to come over. Georgia Tech, on the other hand, 37-17 win over Clemson. They should have definitely done that to them, just given the fact that Clemson's got 3 losses on the season. Georgia Tech, of course, has that crazy good offense, that dynamic offense with Jeff Young. Look at this guy. 110 rushing yards, a touchdown. He can throw it as well. So I'm interested to see how this guy does in the college football playoff as well. Now, as far as Clemson is concerned, they have a couple players that are coming over defensively, but they also have this man, Sean Taylor, 6 catches for 85, plus Cristiano Fernandez. We've talked about these 2 players in the scouting videos. And I kind of like some of the offensive linemen coming over from Clemson as well. Ohio State beats Iowa, and we'll take a look at their statistics here. But first, let's talk about Iowa. We've got the running back Turner that's going to outshine Kennedy, actually, which is interesting. We've got Davion DeWitt, only 2 catches, so really that might be the reason why they lost. I'm really high on Davion DeWitt as a tight end. I think he's a big dude that can catch the football, that can give you that extra receiver, that extra blocker out there. I think he's very versatile. But Ohio State is just better. I think they're just a more talented team. You got Roger Noel, left end, Stanaway, definitely going to be one of the better linebackers in the class, even though he was kind of non-existent in this game. Brian Gordon, you saw him. You saw Ryan Armstrong, the running back. So they're pretty loaded out there, and I think they definitely deserve to be Big Ten champs. Little quick look at the preview of our 2 bowl games. Other teams didn't qualify, but we've got UL Monroe, we've got Southern, and we've got the Rage Cajuns all qualifying for a bowl game. Now, who's in the college football playoff? We've got Tennessee against Georgia Tech, should be a good one, and then Army against Ohio State. So Army's undefeated. They're 11-0. Like, they deserved it. They didn't play a very cupcake type of schedule. So, yeah, their running game is legit. I think that's going to be an interesting matchup against Ohio State. I think Ohio State's going to roll them, though. But we'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow. That video is going to be uploaded for you guys tomorrow. And that should set us up very nicely for the draft, the Saints draft, on Thursday night. So I'll see you guys then. But as we look at the statistics of our Heisman finalists, we got J.J. Smith, who did not have that bad of a year, but I continue to think that he's just, I don't know if he's going to be a good quarterback or not. Like, that's the big thing with me. But the O'Brien winner, Darnell Bourgeois, will end up finishing in 1st and 5th, I guess. Just another glitch in the mod here, but he did win the Heisman even though they gave it to Dustin Perry, so it's weird. Bourgeois finished 1st, but they gave it to Perry in game. So I'm still considering Darnell Bourgeois to be the winner of the Heisman. So as we see the first team for all NCAA, this is going to give you guys a nice idea of these players as we get ready for the Saints draft on Thursday night. We got Trey Garrett, the left guard, Sam Mitchell, one of my favorite centers. I talked about him in the Saints video last Thursday. If you take a look at his stats, the pancake blocks, the 2 awards that he won here this season. You got Kevin Underwood, who's going to be in the playoff. A couple of these guys like Williams, the left end, I didn't throw in because he's an 80 overall. He just wouldn't cut it with that -20 rule. He would have been a 60 overall player, kind of undrafted guy. We're never going to see him, so, why does it matter? Matt Smith, one of my favorite players in this class, is an end. We got Chris Hall, defensive tackle for the Clemson Tigers. Look at the numbers there, 4 sacks, 14 TFLs. So, Chris Hall, 6'5", 279, going to be a good player. Holy Cross, I didn't include him. Chris Smith, high from Clemson. Ronnie Smith I did, though, because look at what he's done. He won the Butkus and the Bednarik. And with 5.5 sacks and 19 tackles for losses, he was a do-it-all linebacker. And, he's going to be an interesting player. But, his rating is not very high at an 87. So he still won all of those awards. He won all that hardware with being an 87 overall. You do the -20, he gets into Madden in that draft class as a 67 overall player. So he's going to be kind of lower in that order in the draft class, probably around that, 3rd to 4th round projection. I think that's a really nice spot for him, for us as the Saints, kind of when we kind of start our draft, really. We don't have a 1st-round draft pick. So it'll be interesting to see how that's all going to shake out. If he's available. If he's available, I might take him. I might consider it. Ben Crawford, going to be 2nd team All-NCAA, so good to see some Cajun 6 love out there for the All-NCAA team. We got James Luke, an All-American. Jared Whaley, 2 guys are going to be also included in the class. So you guys can kind of see how good this Tennessee offensive line is. Plus Clemson, we got Lauren Rivero, too. We covered him in one of our videos. Tank Richardson, another big guy for Texas on that line. We got more Cajun 6 love there with Garcia. But again, just a lot of these guys in the 2nd team, just, even though they produced, they're either juniors or they're just too low of an overall for me to even consider them making it at the next level. We got Kurt Moore from Florida State. He's in the class as well. Had a sack in there, 5 interceptions. I like that. I definitely like that. Stanley Hayes, a junior punter. Just a junior punter. Not going to throw him in there, even though he's all NCAA. Mark Ostrander, 74 overall freshman. He's a guy to watch out for in my mind, definitely, as we move forward in this series. Just keep your eye out for this guy, Mark Ostrander. Now, taking a look at the 1st-team All-Americans for the Cajun 6. Well, not All-Americans, but all Cajun 6. So you're going to see some of your renames on this list, I'm sure. As we scroll through, we got Cookie Chunk. Look at Cookie Chunk. Caesar Braun. Look at his numbers there. 3 sacks, 14 TFLs, 45 tackles total. More that speed rusher type of guy, Lance Osiris. Let's take a look at his numbers here. 49 tackles. I'd like to see that closer to 60, but it's okay. It's all right. Lance Osiris is going to be a decent player at the next level. Got a couple forced fumbles in there too, so nothing to scoff at by any means. Jump forward, we got 1st-team all Cajun 6 here again. We got Sean Bryant with 3 interceptions. So nice little late-round pick, I'm thinking. Like it. Let's go to second team. We got Lucas Key. No surprise there, especially with Jericho Burks' running back 1 for the second team. Look at his numbers. Definitely had a breakout season this year. Do-it-all type of back. I still compare him to Le'Veon Bell, just the size and what he can do in the passing game and the running game as well. Cyrus Todd, Donnie Doan. Got a lot of Southern representation here for sure. John Felix having a huge season. I don't think he's going to declare as an 81. He'll likely be back. A lot of ULM love here as well as Southern. Pretty cool to see that. Not a lot of renamed players here, but Cesar LeBlanc. There's Dio Durant. Like to see that. How many interceptions do you have? Yeah, 6. I feel like he was always showing up in the box scores getting an INT. So that's nice to see from Dio Durant. Tagum Durston. He started off really hot in this series. I thought he was going to be something. He's going to still be in the draft class just because of what he did in week 1. But other than that, he's been really quiet. Just very, very quiet season for Tagum Durston, but probably a late round type of player. Now, the reason why I'm showing you guys this is because this is what goes into what dev trait that these players get inside the class. So when you see a guy like Rain Rowe, he wasn't on the Heisman finalist list, but he's here in the Maxwell finalist list. Even though he didn't win it, he was a finalist. That's one achievement for Rain Rowe. Another part of Rain Rowe is that he needs to be a part of the statistical leaders. He needs to be either in top 10 in touchdowns, top 10 in completion percentage, top 10 in passing yards, something where he's top 10 in to get another achievement. So based on the number of achievements that these players got during their senior season, or whatever, junior season, senior season, whatever, the season that they're declaring to go into the draft, how many ever achievements that they have, that's going to determine their dev trait. So, for example, guys on Ohio State right now, they're in the college football playoff. Guys on Georgia Tech, guys on Army, which I don't think there are any, which is crazy to say, but guys on Tennessee. If any of those guys win a national championship, that's another achievement. Now, obviously none of those guys won the Heisman Trophy, but they were also, could have been awards finalists. They could be statistical leaders and things like pancakes or sacks or rushing yards, something. The number of achievements that these players have goes into your dev trait. So I really like that idea because it tells you that these players are accomplished. It tells you that they're able to produce and to do some things at this next level. Otherwise, how do you determine it? Like a guy like DeAndre Flowers wins the Biletnikoff, but he probably didn't lead in receiving yards. As you guys can see, like Ben Crawford had more receiving yards than he did. Like, look at this. He beat him by like 400 yards. 62 receptions for Flowers, and Crawford finished second. He had 1,300 yards, but he also lost to Flowers by 2 touchdowns. Flowers had 15, Crawford had 13. So Crawford didn't win the award, but I mean, overall, I think he had the better season, but he didn't win the award, which is worth a little extra. So Flowers, right now, he's an All-American. He's going to be top 10 in statistics for receiving yards, award winner. So that goes into your dev trait, and I think that makes sense, just given the fact that, you know, if you're just somebody who's a good player, like, you're going to be a normal dev right there. Like this guy, like Matt Miller, like he's not in there, but a guy like that would be a normal dev if he's only won 0 achievements. Or if he's won 1 achievement, I think that's still a normal dev. Like you only did 1 thing, 1 accomplishment. Other guys, 3 achievements, 4 achievements, guys in the national title game. Like these are big things that should contribute to how you compare with the rest of your competition. Like the rest of the guys that you're playing against, you're the one that came out on top and won the award. So I like the idea of that going into your dev trait. I came up with this at the very beginning of our series. I think it's going to allow players to outshine and differentiate from each other in the class. And how we're also going to do the class, if you guys are not familiar with this, how we're going to do the live stream is, since I created all the players, I know who's a star dev. I know who's a normal dev. I know who's an X Factor. So the fact that I created all these 215 players in this class, like I know everybody, it's kind of an advantage for me. You know, if I go ahead and I'd say, oh, look at me, guys, I took a Superstar X Factor in round 4. No, you created the class. Like, there's no surprise there. I don't believe you. If you're a viewer, you're like, I don't believe you, Goldie. You're a liar. So I don't want that to happen. And I don't want to cheese it. And I don't want to give myself an unfair advantage. So what we're going to do in the draft on Thursday night, so we're going to live stream this, I'm going to have a group of panelists, and we're all going to get on a Discord call together, and you will hear the discussion in the live stream what we should do. And I want you guys in the comment section, if you're going to tune into this draft, I think it'd be really fun for you to kind of get involved as well, to kind of maybe suggest some players to kind of sway the opinions of some of the panelists that are in there. I think that'll be really fun. So there's going to be some heated debate, I'm sure of it. There's going to be positions of need. There's going to be best players available. There's going to be some things that I think a lot of people in there are probably not going to agree with each other on. So, you know, maybe they are pretty cordial and maybe they agree full-heartedly. You know, that, yeah, you need an offensive lineman. Yeah, you need a middle linebacker. You need something here. I think that's going to be so good. It's going to be so good for content, really. The discussion will drive the content, and I'm going to listen to them. Whoever they tell me to pick as a consensus, a majority rules type of thing, that's who I'm going to take. So I'm not going to have really much of a say on who I take. It's all going to be community-based. I want to take myself out of the equation. Since I made the draft class, I know who's who. I know who's good. I know who's kind of a steal. I know who is kind of a letdown. So, you know, I just don't want that to, I don't want people to accuse me of it. And I also don't want to just, you know, have that as a crutch to get into this draft class and say, ooh, we really need a backup running back to Kamara. And, you know, this guy's an X Factor, but this guy a little higher is a star. You know, oh my God, it's an X Factor. Oh, surprise. No, fake news. You are fake news. So I don't want that to happen. So panelists, you guys are going to be in charge. Community in the live chat, you guys can kind of sway their opinion, hopefully. Maybe there's a guy that you want to look at a little bit more too. Suggest a guy that you want to scout a little bit more during the draft. Take a look at his combine, things like that. So it'll be fun, and hope to see you guys there. So tomorrow night, so Sunday night, will be the bowl games. I'm going to show you guys the bowl games, quick cut highlights of those, because what's really going to matter is the playoff. So Georgia Tech, Tennessee, Ohio State, Army. We're also going to do the national championship game on Sunday as well. So that'll be kind of fun to see who's really playing for Superstar X Factor. That's really what it's gonna come down to. So guys, leave a like if you like this thing. I'll see you back here on Sunday for the playoff and the bowl games, and then Thursday night, draft night for Saints. See you guys here. Leave a like if you like this thing. I'll see you then. As always, thank you so much for watching, and peace.